Hello, Committee to Re-elect the President. I have new comic reviews, and this week, as always, they're brought to you by my own works. This is Caprice and Other Stories. It's a small novella of my horror short stories featuring Caprice. And comic books are out. Issue 3 of Red Knight is finally out. It's out this week, and you can order it with the information below, either for the P.O. Box or PayPal. If you use PayPal, look me up on my email address, brother-justin@hotmail.com, and it's $2.99 for the issue. It's going to be $9 if you're going to order all 3 issues, because, hey, this is the last part of the first story arc. So, hey, I have a complete story arc. Yay! So you get to see everything you want in the Red Knight first story arc, which is Knight Without a Sword. You get to find out, let's see, the origin of this character, as well as Nonstop in the Fireball. Essentially, everybody's out to get Red Knight. The cops, led by Detective Martha Brown, and the mobsters, specifically their superpowered hitmen, Overkill and Surge, who's going to get Red Knight. There's going to be a big fight in this issue, too. Also, it sets up the status quo. So this is a good place to start. Or go back and buy issues 1 and 2. Anyway, I'm also going to give a shout out to Vince White's Willpower. Issue 3 also came out this week, both from Primal Paper Comics, the Virginian comic book network. And it's fantastic. Will is going off on a journey to find his father, and it takes him to Antarctica, to a lost laboratory of his father's, which is being protected by the Action Pack. I'll put below a link to order. Now, let's get to some comic reviews. And is it chilly in hell today? Because I bought these comics. Yes, the Rob Liefeld characters, Glory and Prophet. I bought them this week, and now I'm going to review them. First off is Glory, number 23. By John Keating and Ross Campbell doing the artwork. Now, both these books, probably display at the top first issue in a bold new era for Extreme, and they didn't renumber them. What the hell? How am I supposed to know? Hey, by the way, we're not retarded. If you start your new bold era, you don't have to start over with the new number 1. Just tell us what issue that is. Or fuck, we'll just go to the store and pick up, the latest issue, and I'll have to backtrack if necessary. Thank you, Rob Liefeld. I don't often say that, but thank you for for trusting that I'm smart enough to pick up the issue you tell me to get. Let's go and talk about this book. Now, I've always kind of considered Glory as, well, Rob Liefeld's Wonder Woman knockoff. There's Supreme, his Superman knockoff, and a whole bunch of different characters like that. But this book, John Keating, really does. Joe Keating. Keating? How do you pronounce that? What do you think?
Keating.
Okay, we're going to go with that. Anyway, it starts off giving us a brief backstory of the character in the first couple of pages, very nicely done, where she is the daughter of these 2 warring factions, and her birth brought peace. And she had come to Earth during World War II, and because she's kind of a warrior princess character person. And also she's had tons of adventures. A lot of this episode is seen through the eyes of this young girl who, her name's Riley. And she grows up and starts writing about her and starts looking into her past, like trying to figure out where she'd gone. She'd apparently been missing for some years. And I like this page of her adventures and over time, even having goofy moments. This issue does a fantastic job of, bringing us up to speed and giving us a nice, real cliffhanger of what's happened to the character. And this art is fantastic. I've never seen Ross Campbell's work before. Lindsay's heard of him, and his version of this character is absolutely stunning looking. She's so not typical female superhero character. Even the way Rob used to draw her. Rob kind of drew her in his standard, female form, just maybe taller, but that's kind of it. But she has a distinct look. I mean, she's a little more beefy and kind of bodybuilder-ish almost, but without being too grotesque. She has a kind of lovely round face the way she's designed, instead of like an sharp, angular one. And the whole comic just doesn't feel like, an extreme book. It's got its own sort of pacing, and it feels like a world. They're sort of doing with this what Alan Moore did with Supreme, by basically embracing the concept of the character being inspired by, another more famous character, and they're running with it, and that's what they're doing here. Hey, I didn't believe I'd ever be saying this like a week ago, but I really love this. I highly recommend this. This is issue 23. If you're not a big fan of Rob Liefeld, check it out anyway. It's very, very good. Now, there's another issue. Prophet. Yeah, Prophet. Here's another character I never thought I'd ever look at. This is issue 21. What? This one's not number 1 either? Incredible! Anyway, I don't know much about Prophet, except I know he's some kind of genetically perfect guy from the future, I think. Anyway, we follow him. There's not much dialogue. There's mostly narration, which I imagine is probably maybe the writer, because, it's not in first person or something like that. Anyway, we see him make his way through the wilderness, fighting off like these freakish beasts. And this is, by the way, some kind of future post-human Earth or something like that. And I mean, just the work here. Oh, by the way, this is I forgot to mention the team on this. This is Brandon Graham, and the art is by Simon Roy. And Simon Roy's work is just wonderfully, just vivid and very realistic and a little cartoony. And there's, some of the best of what I've seen in independent books and Vertigo books as well. So this basically kind of just catches us up to speed on what he's supposed to be doing, and he gets sent off onto an adventure basically at the end. And he also has sex with a weird creature. But hey, if there's nobody else around, this weird scrotum vagina slug-like thing, I guess, is the next best thing. Now, granted, this kind of future post-apocalyptic thing really isn't generally my speed. But I did say I have to. I really dug this as well. I'm going to give this a very solid 4 Ram Chips. Very, very good. I recommend both of these books. Check them out. If you turn your nose up at anything Rob Liefeld, you may want to just reconsider, at least for these issues, because they're very, very good. And let's go off to Batman! This is issue 6 by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Batman is still trapped in the Court of Owls maze, and last we saw, he was stabbed. Maybe he wasn't stabbed, I don't know. But let's see, we've seen most of this through his eyes, and he has kind of been affected by some sort of horrible hallucinogen where, he doesn't know what's going on. He feels like he's going crazy, and he's being attacked. The whole time we see him kind of change shape, depending on how he feels in the issue. The fight with Talon is quite vivid, and we don't make any cutaways like the previous issue to what's going on with his friends. So we're pretty much in it where we think he's lost, and well, let's just say Batman is Batman. Quite good, and of course it has a nice leading cliffhanger where we're going to get some more excitement with these guys. DC's already advertised that they have some big other story with them, but highly recommend. Of course, you're probably already reading this. Anyways, 5 Ram Chips. Now, Wonder Woman 6. This is so great. Thanks, DC, for renumbering everything at the same time. I know what every book is. No more number. Brian Azzarello and Tony Atkins is filling in for this issue. But let's see. Last we left Diana, she was having a meeting with Poseidon, and that's kind of a dangerous meeting, let's just say. By the way, I didn't get to review the previous issue. It's just been so long, and I just decided to skip it. I love the design of Poseidon. It's really almost like an Eastern design, actually, when you think about it, because a lot of Eastern gods, don't look human. That almost seems like that's kind of more of a Western kind of thing, or at least out of the Middle East or something like that. And then, Christian gods and such. A lot of the gods look pretty human, and a lot of, I don't know, Japanese and Chinese gods, or kind of all sorts of creatures. And this kind of makes sense that he looks like kind of every sea creature all together, and he's really fucking huge. I think it's pretty unique design. Instead of looking like Ariel's dad or something like that, just another white old guy with a beard, which is pretty much par for course for our gods. Anyway, big setup that Diana's playing against Hera here, and my favorite sequence actually is the fight with the centaurs on the bridge. Holy crap, what a cool sequence, I gotta say. It's partly seen by Zola's eyes, and we don't see everything in the fight, which I frankly think makes it more intense. I think it's probably my favorite fight in this series so far. Very, very good. I'm gonna give this one 5 round chips. And now, number 6 of Ghostbusters! And this is brought to you by Eric Burnham and Dan Schuring, and we open up the comic with, look at this. This is Kylie from Extreme This is Kylie from Extreme Ghostbusters, that short-lived spin-off cartoon. Seriously, I love that Eric is cherry-picking from not only the 2 films, but also the cartoon series, and now from Extreme Ghostbusters. I kind of liked Kayla, actually, and I thought she was a neat addition to the universe. And I'm happy to see her here. Now, she's not a Ghostbuster, but she's working at Ray's cult bookstore, so she's sort of his researcher, and which kind of makes sense. I mean, we got the basic Ghostbusters. We don't need any extra Ghostbusters. But at least she's in this this version of the series. There's a big possession, and the guys are trying to figure out how to free a child without killing him, because they have these proton packs, and they can't just blast the little child with the proton packs. They have to kind of talk the deity out. The art is always like crisp and clear, and has like that look of the well animated real Ghostbusters episodes, but still has its own flavor. Its own. Not to mention, really cool cliffhanger at the end of this issue. This is 5 round chips. And do we have one more comic here to put us over the top as far as like 5 round chips are concerned? Yes, it is Daredevil. Daredevil 9. And the issue, let's see, last issue we saw Matt Murdock making a terrible mistake by fucking the Black Cat, but while he's doing that, he gets called by Foggy to tell him that his father's body is missing from the cemetery, and they're thinking these are body thieves, but they're coming from they're disappearing from underneath. It's the mole people. And the mole man. They're stealing caskets from. Look at this. This is amazing right here. This page, and it's a good build-up too for the first page. Matt goes underground to the mole people universe to try and find his father's casket, and of course, and get all the other. They've taken maybe, I don't know. It looks like hundreds of caskets, where he's like going oh my God, this is the art here. This is Mark Waid, and Riviera is doing the art. Oh, just beautiful. And you know, this is classic Marvel Underground City. Just amazing. And meanwhile, we got the Black Cat subplot. Is she really going to steal his perfect bargaining chip against the worlds of evil? We don't know. We'll see. Because we go back to our main story. And the Mole Man's motives are quite touching, actually. I won't get too much into that, but it's quite touching, actually, when we got to that. And then we have another cliffhanger with Matt being thrown to some unknown dark beastie. Wow, this is a great book. 5 RAM chips. You should be buying this. This is required reading, I think. This and Batman. Required. Anyway, that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.